I want to talk to you guys today about money and how it is literally the most important thing until you get to a point when it's not the most important thing, and then what after that. On this channel, we talk about a lot of things. A lot of it is basically minimalism and financial minimalism, how they go hand in hand and how they can work together, and how that hopefully will give you a better life. My goal with this channel is to make people start to realize the things that I realize on a day-to-day basis, like, holy crap, we're getting served ads every single day. Holy crap, I have too much stuff. Holy crap, I have too much debt. Holy crap, I'm spending too much money. Holy crap, everyone spends too much money on random stuff. But I've noticed that I get caught up sometimes in the numbers and how important it is to have this much money, save this much money, make this much money, earn this much money, whatever it might be. And I need to make sure that I get to a point where, yes, I'm stable financially, but I'm also happy. And that's why I'm a big believer in minimalism, because I think that those two can really go hand in hand quite nicely. Finances are probably the most important thing other than your health in your life. You can't do anything without money. That's the society and the way it's been built. I'm okay with it because I think finances are a wonderful motivator for people. It's a wonderful way for people to go from zero to $1 million or $10 million or $1 billion. They start from nothing and get to something. I think that that's a really powerful tool for a lot of people, but it's a powerful tool until you get to the point you want to get to, and then you need to make sure you can take a step back. Minimalism is all about, to me, minimalism, essentialism, less stuffism. It's really about having things in your life that are absolutely important, that you use on a day-to-day basis, or you use consistent enough that you can have it in your house and that they actually bring you joy. The things you own bring you joy. I know so many people who have a house that they don't like because it's too small, and they're like two people. It's a house that's 1,800 square feet. It's not too small. You have too much stuff. But they're always pushing for more when the actual solution to their problem is less. But money is kind of different because you need money. You desperately need money. You can't function in any society in this world without money, for the most part. I'm sure there's one or two you don't need money, but for the most part, you need money to function. You can say that that's good, say that's bad, whatever. But how can you get to that point? Well, you save your money, you invest your money, you get a higher paying job. There are a lot of ways to do that. I've talked about it a lot on this channel. But what happens when you get to that point? Will you be able to enjoy your wealth, or will you always be that same kid who was 25 years old, who was broke, who didn't have anything, and he never wanted to spend money on anything, and then he got a lot of stuff and he still wouldn't spend money on anything, so there's no real point in him getting there? I was talking to my wife the other day, and this is going to sound like a total rich person problem, but I think it's kind of a motivational thing, at least for me it was. And I was like, I want to buy a Tesla. That's like my dream car. I drive a Toyota Corolla now, no problems with it. I'm not a car guy. I'm really not. I don't care about cars that much, but Tesla just looks so cool. I think being able to have solar power the charger that charges your car is the coolest thing on the planet. Like, that's the coolest thing ever. That's why I think it's so cool about it. And I want to get one. I can afford one now. We could go out right now, not with cash, but I could afford the payments. $680 a month. I could afford that payment. Wouldn't really be a big deal. But it would be a big deal because it's $680 a month. That's terrible to spend that much money on a car. But I could do it. I could afford it. And I told her, I was like, I'm not going to get a Tesla until we have a net worth of over $500,000. I'm like, I want to bust my butt for the next 5 years. And I think that at that point, we'll save our money properly. We should be kind of close to about a $500,000 net worth. Give or take, I don't know. We have a negative net worth right now because we're still paying off debt. But the way I think we're going to do it, we should have a $500,000 net worth in about 4 or 5 years. And I was talking to her about that. I was like, when we get to that point, I'm going to buy myself a Tesla. That's going to be like my treat to myself for busting my butt, for starting with very little and then getting to that point. However, I then thought about it for a little bit longer, and I was like, I don't think I would buy myself a Tesla. I think I would think it's insane. It's a $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 car. There's no way I would let myself buy one of those. So I told my wife, I was like, this is a great thing about having a wife, gentlemen out there. To all the gentlemen out there whose women are watching with them, I'm deeply sorry. But it's a very good thing because I can have somebody that is accountable, keeps me accountable, and I can keep her accountable as well. And I told her, I was like, when we get to that point, buy me one, because I know I'm not going to. I told her which one I want. Buy me that car. Buy it with cash. Don't buy it on whatever. She knows that, but buy it with cash and buy that car. She's like, okay, I know. I figured you would never buy that car for yourself. And I think that that's a crucial thing that made me think about why I'm doing all of this. Why would I save all this money and acquire and accumulate all this wealth just because I wouldn't ever get to enjoy it, because I would never let myself enjoy it. I know myself, and I know I wouldn't. I have nice things, but I don't have like truly expensively over the top nice things. This camera is a nice camera, but it's like $1,000. That's the net worth. My computer is a nice computer. It cost me $1,250. I have nice things. My computer is not $4,000. I could buy a $4,000 computer, but it's not. My camera, I could buy a $5,000 camera, but it's not. I allow myself to enjoy money to a point. And I think that, I guess what I'm talking about is focus on finances now when you're young or you're struggling with finances or you're a little bit older. I say young because most people that watch my videos are roughly around my age. When you get to a point where you're happy with your money and you have things in place, you have a nice job, you're putting money in your 401k, you have your house paid off, you're paying off your house rapidly, you got a 15-year mortgage, a 10-year mortgage, and you're paying it off in 5 years, and you're doing all these things, really take a few steps back and like have other goals, I think is what I'll say is, because I think for me, what I realized is my only goal is to get to this point where I own a home, I own a second home, and I have a certain amount saved up for my children's college. I don't have kids yet, and they're not on the way. a few years. But I want to be able to afford their college for them, and I want them to not have to worry about that. I want them to understand the money, but I want them to not have to really worry about that. And if they want to go to college, that's fine. I'm not going to push it. I think college is kind of 601. Do it if you want. Don't do it if you want. I don't really care. But when you get to that point, then what? I might be 35, 40 when I get to that point. I have another 40 years left, by the way, sort of the average life expectancy in America. So I have 40 more years. I have half my life left to do stuff. And I will have spent the first half accumulating all this stuff and reaching all these goals, these end goals for me. And then I get there and I'll just be like, oh, that's it. I'm done. I guess I'm done. So I guess what I'll say is what I've been thinking about for myself is make sure you have more goals than just financial goals, because money is really deeply important. You can't eat, you can't shower, you can't sleep. Well, you can sleep. You couldn't sleep comfortably without money. You need it. You need it to live. You need it to function. But what happens when you get control of your money and you get to a point when you're debt-free, own your home, you own 2 homes, you're making rental income. You don't even have to work anymore. You have so much money, you don't have to work. Then what? Humans are built to work. We are. That's why we go to the moon. Humans, if we weren't built to do things and constantly build new stuff and invent new things and try new things, we would be living in huts still. So I guess what I'm saying is have more goals. Have your financial goals and make those important, because those are important. Those should be probably your biggest priority. But at the end of that, know that there's more. There's going to be more to life than the end of that goal. Dave Ramsey, somebody I really like. I like what he says. He pushes work, accumulate money, and then keep working. Like, he never really tells you what to do after you accumulate wealth, after you get to $1 million, after you get to $10 million. Enjoy the money. Give the money. Do whatever you want with it. I don't really care. Make sure you're comfortable, and then do whatever you want. Don't go crazy. Most people that accumulate wealth slowly over time and do it the right way probably won't go crazy. But I guess I'm saying, like, make sure you are taking care of yourself on an emotional and not just monetary level, because money is everything until it isn't, and you accumulate money. Then what? What is your life? What do you do? Who are you? You don't want to be known as a rich person. It's fine to have wealth, but you want somebody to describe you by something else. How would somebody describe you now is something I think about. How would somebody describe Scott Schroeder right now if they were talking about me in a positive manner, I guess it could be negative, but we'll say positive. What would they say? What are the few things that they would mention about me? What do I do? Who am I? What kind of guy am I? What would they say about me? And that is something I think is important to think about, because one day you're going to, if you follow the steps that I've talked about and you live a minimalist life and you have your finances and your ducks in a row, you should be at a position to where you could live a very good life. But if money becomes the only thing you think about, it probably won't be very good, just because of the nature of how life works, I guess, because goals are important. Attainable goals are really important as well. And hitting those goals, that's like the feeling that humans strive for, I believe, is hitting a goal, hitting a benchmark, whatever it may be. Whether it's like getting married, that's a goal for you. I want to get married. I want to have a happy life with my wife. What can you do to achieve that? Don't fly off the handles every single time she does something wrong. How can you be happy? Is it to maintain a certain way? Is it to go to the gym? Sometimes making yourself happy is actually a more difficult task. It's harder to go to the gym than it is to not go to the gym, because it's either do something or don't do something. It's easier to not do something just because you're always not doing something until you do something. So it's like, does being in shape make you happy? Yes, go to the gym. These are things that I just think are really important, and make sure that you know what you're doing when you get to a point financially that you're very, very stable. Because if you don't, I think that most people are going to be very upset and probably get kind of depressed, because they're going to reach a point financially where they have everything, but then they're going to look around and realize they have nothing. So make sure you build other things along the way, which is why I push minimalism so much, because you don't have a million things, you have things that are important. You realize what's actually important in life. It's not the next bag, it's not the newest shoes, it's the relationships you have, it's the people you know, it's the few things in your house and in your home, in your apartment, that give you happiness, that give you joy. And that is life. And that's why I always push minimalism with finances, because it's good to be a financial minimalist, but it's better to be a minimalist who's financially minimal. I'll say that. So just take these words as they are. This is just want to make a quick video. It's running a little bit long because I know I repeat myself and I ramble sometimes. But thank you guys for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, let me know. If you didn't enjoy it, keep that to yourself, because let's keep it positive, my people. All right, but seriously, thanks so much for watching the video. Let me know if there's something you struggled with. I would actually like to know. I like hearing from people who think sort of similar from me, because I like to see what they did that maybe I could do to improve my life or change my life in a positive way. I like being wrong, because that means that there's a better answer out there than the one that I've selected. So thank you for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.